All right. This upload is about Breaking Bad, Season 3, Episode 4, titled Green Light. Um, I associate the term green light with somebody having a hit out on them. If you know mob movies, that means somebody's going to kill them or get whacked. That's what I associate that term with. But I feel like in this series, well, I don't feel like I know that they're associating this term with Mr. White resuming his cooking process or being pushed in that direction. Um, I'm gonna list off the characters that are in this one and then explain what they're doing in this episode. Hopefully that's good enough. And if I start to sweat, no, I'm in the oven right now. I do not have AC. um, Junior comes in and he makes an appearance. Kind of, um, he's happy to see his parents back together. I've been there, happy to see my parents happy, but all the time not understanding that Mrs. White is still out there dipping and dabbing, and Mr. White is basically falling off the face of the earth. So that's Junior's part in this episode, and I'm gonna jump right into Mr. White. Um, damn, I'm trying to figure out where he's come from since the last episode. I can't say he's took a turn for the worse because it started to set in that his wife does not care about him anymore. Somebody you've given your life to, or a great portion of your life, and your heart uh, basically have it ripped out and stepped on by his wife. So things he started to see things differently, and he's making decisions without worrying about the consequences, which isn't a good thing because the consequences are exactly what happens. He loses his job, and I think he may have a sexual harassment suit pending due to that. I feel like he wants to, at a certain point in this episode, he wants to stand on his own 2 feet, if that makes any sense, and try and show that he can have an affair too, if that makes any sense. But the other person has to be willing. You can't just throw yourself on somebody, which he does, and he does it to his boss out of all people. So that's where he gets fired, and I believe it's a sexual harassment suit, or not suit, but something along those lines. He has a tarnished record now. I don't think he can ever get another job in the teaching field because of those actions, which is kind of sad. I hate to see, even if it's a fictional character, I hate to see a fictional character go down because they can't control their emotions, especially in such a way. Um, I don't like his performance in this episode. I mean, I don't see where the origin of these feelings came from for this character. He's not acting like Heisenberg, his alter ego, I guess, or Mr. White. He's acting like something completely different. I hope it goes away in the next episode. Mrs. White, on the other hand, for some reason, I believe she only slept with her boss out of spite, but silly me, she did it because she actually wanted to, and she did it again. I mean, I guess it goes back to the old saying, why not continue to use the well if it's still producing water? So, if she can still get pleasure out of it, far as making her husband suffer and um, pleasure from the act, why not do it? So I believe that character. That's why the character continues to do it. Don't like it, but she did it. She did it again. Um, See where I'm coming from. I'm a little lost in the sauce right now because of that. Even though it's a fictional character, and I'm wiping the sweat away. I'm basting it here. Somebody send help. um, so let me see. I've talked about Mr. White, Mrs. White. I'm gonna leave the the brother-in-law for last. Talked about Junior Pinkman. Let's not forget about Pinkman. Now, oh boy, Pinkman. He's of course found enlightenment. He's balanced his chakra, if you will. Maybe I got that wrong. I apologize if I offended anybody with that. I feel like his character's found peace, some peace, but he need money in order to enjoy that peace. So he decides to start cooking again, and he makes the product. And at one point, he shows it to Mr. White, and Mr. White is like, "No, no, no, this is inferior." Then they start going back and forth as far as the process of making it, and I don't know too much about quality of that particular product, but I can tell you the colors were different. The stuff that was done by Mr. White solely, it's like a deep dark, like ocean blue, really blue, and the stuff that was cooked by Pinkman is a like sky blue. So I don't know if those differences in color determine quality. Maybe that's what they're trying to do in this particular instance. I can't tell you. But yeah, Mr. White's not happy about that. And of course, they're bickering like a married couple. They might as well get it on. They're going back and forth. Trying to think what else happened. Yeah, I'm definitely basting right now. Let's see here. So my dog's over there. She hears something. Yeah, she hears growling. She wants to protect the house and me because I'm scared. But anyway, trying to think here. I might as well just go into the brother-in-law because I've already went over pretty much, message. I pretty much went over all the characters in this episode. Um, the saga of the brother-in-law continues. I mean, he's just going through the ringer. I mean, he's got his defenses all the way up. His defenses are up, and he is on alert right now. He is protecting himself best way he can by basically threatening violence or trying to make the appearance that he's a tough guy when he's not. He's emotionally broken at this point. I mean, he's had to take a life, and he watched several other people lose their lives, along with a decapitated head and explosion. It's all type of trauma happening over there. But I think this character definitely comes from an older way of thinking. Men don't need help. Men are always going to be tough. Stepping into reality at this point, human beings are fragile creatures, whether you like it or not, unless there's some major difference in your makeup than everybody else's. Certain things, I won't say triggered. Certain things will cause you to be broken or break you. It's not a bad thing to be broken. You've seen something or been through something very traumatic. Traumatic by it shook your soul. Best way I could put it. And you can't just brush that off your shoulder and feel like you're not the man of steel. That's fiction as well. In real life, you know, you're gonna have to let those barriers down to somebody. You're gonna have to open up, or whatever's whatever's in that room that you have to wrestle with is gonna beat you, and it's gonna continue to beat you until you ask for help. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Um, with that being said, the brother-in-law's character, I should memorize his name by now. I should know his name by now, but I don't. So I keep calling him the brother-in-law. He's set to go back to El Paso, and he's like trying to find any way not to go over there. He already did a little self-sabotage in the last episode, and coincidentally, or thankfully, in this episode, he actually gets some good leads on a case that he's working on, here, and he decides to blow off his boss and continue to do it. He almost gets into a fight, an altercation with his partner. His partner just cares about him. He's trying to talk to him. He's not trying to have none of that. He's like, "Hey, bro, don't touch me. Let's fight." And you continue to do that. This is a stepping into real life again. If you continue to do that, you're not gonna have anybody left in your corner. If you continue to push people away, sooner or later you're not gonna have anybody in your corner. Learned that the hard way. I've learned that the hard way. I'm also excited to see what's going to happen in this particular series. Of course, I feel like I'm almost done, but there's plenty more to do. Netflix has a movie out about these guys, and then there was a spinoff, believe it or not. So maybe that's something I'll watch on my own and fill this slot with another TV show. I don't know. Till then, I have to watch more episodes.